but she was also fighting herself. "Sometimes I can get emotional," she said. "On the court, I was overthinking and missing, and not easy balls, but balls I shouldn't be missing." All of those misses started to add up as Coco raced out to a 3-0 lead, then a 4-0 lead in the deciding set. Arena steadied herself to get back to 4-2, hoping that maybe she could make it close enough for Coco's nerves to kick in once again. But when Coco smacked a forehand into the open court that gave her a 5-2 lead in the third set, their body language couldn't have been more different. As the crowd erupted, Coco raised her left fist and calmly walked to her chair. Arena just looked at the ground. For a player one game away from the title, that 60-second rest break as the players change ends can be excruciating. Roger Federer, one of the greatest players of all time, described the tension he felt playing in the most important matches and the biggest tournaments in the world as his head being flooded with a million ideas. It's a natural thing, even for someone who has won every big trophy imaginable. "Sometimes it slows down your legs. Your pulse starts racing. That can stress you out a tad," he said. "I always say I'm happy I feel that way because it means I care." In those moments, players usually try to slow down their breathing and focus on anything other than winning the match. Because in tennis, unlike basketball or football, you can't run out the clock if you have the lead. The only way to take home the tournament is to win the last game. And the only way to win the last game is to win 4 points. You have to keep your focus all the way to the end. So when it was time for Coco to serve what she hoped would be the final game of the match, she took her stance and bounced the ball 8 times. She delivered her first serve and rallied with Arena, moving right to left, then back to the right again before Arena tried to crush a forehand as hard as she could. But she hit it too far, about a foot beyond the baseline. 1 down, 3 to go. On the next point, Arena tried something different. A drop shot that she meant to barely float over the net and land softly, hoping to catch Coco by surprise. Once Coco recognized what was coming, she sprinted forward and clenched her left fist for just a moment when Arena's shot landed in the net. 2 points away. As she got closer to the finish line, Coco quickly let go of her emotions. She didn't scream or celebrate. She didn't smile. She was as locked into the job as she'd ever been. After just a few seconds, she was right back on the baseline, ready to serve again. This time, it was a long rally. They went back and forth, pushing each other around the court until Coco slightly mishit a ball that shot way up into the air and landed short on the other side of the net. For Arena, this was an easy shot, one she had probably practiced tens of thousands of times during her life. So she scooted into position, took the racket back, and got ready to smash it for a winner. Only this time, it wasn't a winner. She had pulled it wide. This was it. Everything Coco had dreamed of since she started focusing on tennis at age 7 was just 1 point away from becoming reality. The fans came to their feet and started to take out their cell phones, hoping to capture the scene. In just a few seconds, it had become the loudest, happiest place in all of New York, bursting in celebration at what was about to happen. Coco paced around the court for a few seconds and took one deep breath as she stepped up to the baseline, as focused as she could be in that moment. Then she started bouncing the ball, rocking back into her serving motion for what she hoped would be the point that would make her a U.S. Open champion. To understand the importance of that moment for Coco, let's talk about how tennis works. In a normal year, a professional player will enter around 20 tournaments across the globe, each one presenting a unique challenge. There are different surfaces, different balls, different weather, and different pressures waiting for players as they hop from country to country, often spending months at a time away from their friends and families. On one hand, it's a glamorous life, playing every week in a new place and spending time in some of the world's most exciting cities. On the other hand, it's a constant routine of packing up suitcases, rushing through airports, eating meals on the go, and having to organize practice time or medical treatment in unfamiliar places. There's not much time to celebrate wins or be sad about losses because the next tournament is always just around the corner. Maybe the best way to describe it came from Coco's doubles partner.